Budget Blinds. Visit their showroom or call today for a free in-home consultation.
All right, Moses, he was a pioneer, or a basketball pioneer. The late Phil Allen died of a heart attack while on vacation in Costa Rica last Friday.
This was a shock to all of us here in the studio, as well as many out there, friends, families, as well as coaches, players, you name it. It's definitely left many in mourning over the man who's credited for raising the profile of that sport in Alberta.
Let's go hard.
He's considered a legend in post-secondary basketball in Canada. 25 seasons patrolling the sidelines for 3 different programs. A journey that began in 1979 in Calgary with the St. Trojans. That included 9 ACAC titles and 2 national championships. He would go on to have successful stints at Grant MacEwan and Lakeland College, setting the record for all-time wins with 805. But his lasting legacy went far beyond the wins and losses.
He gets you enthusiastic about the sport. You couldn't help but get passionate when you spent time with Phil.
Contagious?
Very contagious.
Phil's enthusiasm mixed with his drive was unmatched.
We'd have 110 practices a year, and Phil would have a coaching plan for each practice of what we were going to do and what we were going to accomplish. And he kept every one of them.
Even passing it down to those who played for him.
It's one of several Bibles, so like I said, he's got every year in it, so I can see his state teams in the 80s, I can see his Grant MacEwan teams, I can see my team when I played and our practice plans and all the guys. It's kind of neat to go through it.
Chris King played for Phil for 2 seasons. He later became a coach himself, even having his mentor help out as an assistant after Phil retired in 2008.
I saw him motivate a group of young ladies, which he hadn't coached girls in 20-some years, and he would get them fired up still. He was a perfect assistant coach and a rah-rah guy, and it makes me smile thinking about those moments coaching together and playing for him, the moments that we had on the road or after practice, and that's ultimately what it's about.
His passion for the game and kids didn't just affect those at the schools he worked at. Phil was also instrumental in developing club basketball in the province.
He and I and David Dorward started the Edmonton Grads, the first club program in the city. Phil impacted basketball and basketball players, coaches, parents at all levels.
An impact on those who now have heavy hearts.
Every day I walk, grab my morning coffee, or we have weights, and I see this plaque out of the corner of my eye, and you kind of don't realize the legacy that someone like him left until you have a moment to kind of recollect yourself and think about the past.
We lost a man who was Mr. Basketball to Alberta.
He was a great man, and he definitely will be missed. We're turning our attention now to hockey. And after nearly a 2-week break from league play, the Foremost Heat will now play 3 games in the next 4 days. As Josh Ryan tells us, it's all about the rest and repetition over the next couple weeks.
It's that time of the year for Coach Kirill Chikin and the Lloydminster Foremost Heat. Since a big win over Camrose on January 10th, the squad has been preparing for a tough stretch of games that includes several divisional opponents.
Every game matters so much, and our division is very close. Between first place, last place, there's not much gaps.
Currently, the Heat are tied with Camrose for second place in the division and sit just 2 points back of Parkland for first. Another divisional opponent, Leduc, is up next Thursday.
The win will definitely separate us from them in terms of securing that playoff spot. So I've been preparing. It's another road game. We've been doing better on the roads.
With 3 games coming up in the next 4 days, Keagan Watchel and his teammates are focused on making sure they are mentally and physically ready.
Eating well, getting your sleep, and just getting stuff done before game time.
After Thursday's road tilt, the Heat will look to solve their home woes, as they haven't won a game here in Lloydminster since October.
While Chikin says they're making a few changes to the pregame routine, he doesn't believe it's anything to worry about.
We love playing here, we love playing in Lloydminster, and we've played some good hockey here over that stretch too, and just weren't able to win some games here. But at the same time, success on the road, there's nothing wrong with that.
Josh Ryan, Newcap Sports.
Thanks a lot, Josh. We're going to move on to some more hockey, this time the AJHL. 1 game from the AJ last night. The Lloydminster Bobcats pulling out the 4-1 victory with forward Chris Spriggs scoring a pair of goals, extending his point streak to 9 games. Christian Lloyd chipped in with a goal and an apple, and Noah Ball scored as well. The Cats are back in action Friday night versus Brooks.